Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Good morning. Welcome to this edition of Atlanta Business Radio. All right, our first guest, we have two special guests today. Our first guest is Trenton Carson. Trenton is the owner, cinematographer, and editor for TC Productions. Welcome to the show, Trenton.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with Trenton. And Trenton, I'm going to ask you some questions I want to hear about your production company. Trenton, you have a bachelor's degree in cinematography from Southern Illinois University.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that training.
Oh, man, that training, SIU film department is top 10 in the nation. We focus mainly on film production. So we shoot actual film on 35 millimeter, 16 millimeter, and Super 8. So we don't really, we transition over to video, but we primarily focus on film. And that helped us out a whole lot because it helped us out in our video training because we actually get to work on primarily film and then translate that on later on. We got to work on in the dark room. We work on, Alexa's cameras and whatnot. So it was high price studio cameras that was meant for Hollywood. And that's what we was trained for. So we were mainly trained for to being cinematographers, directors, and being on set in a film studio.
Okay. So you trained in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you here to Atlanta?
Oh, it was a lot of running around, but I trained in Illinois. I went to Hollywood, worked there for a while. Then I went back to Illinois and I worked at a television station. And while working at the television station, I still had a lot of friends in the college and professors as well as in Hollywood. And they was telling me about, and this is 6 years ago, they were telling me about this big shift that's happening in Georgia. A lot of the film scouters were heading to Georgia, scouting locations, and they was doing a lot of filming. They was bringing a lot of editors down. They was bringing a lot of cinematographers this way. So they was telling me that if you want to get ahead of the game, you want to start heading this way before everybody else comes this way.
Right. And so you came this way, and what did you do?
Came over here and started my video production company. And actually being a step ahead of everybody gave me a great advantage because even though video has been out for a while, a lot of the business owners are yet to convert over to video. So it was a lot of teaching in the beginning, but once I, brought them over and tell them what video is doing, the shift the video doing for small businesses, a lot of them started to get on board.
Right. So for our audience, paint a picture. What is your production company and what do you do?
Okay, our production company mainly is a video production company that provides video marketing content for businesses. So for businesses that's ready to get into the video marketing realm, we provide all that video content. Now, we don't necessarily market it. That would be a marketing company, but we shoot the video. And it's for businesses that's ready to get in front of the curve or on the curve, as you say, with, I guess, the heavy hitters in business. Because as a small business owner, you want to be on par with the big businesses. You just don't have the big businesses budget. But now with the internet and everything, you can actually put out ads, that's not as expensive, but still the reach is more powerful than a big company would.
Right. Okay. Let's say I'm the customer. I'm coming to you as Business Radio X.
Yes.
And I say, Trenton, what can you do for us? What's the process?
Okay, the process, you would tell us, hey, we're looking for a video, and I'll have to go through what kind of video, who are you, what's your mission statement, what are your customers, what are your clients, what are your audience, what are they like, what are they into? Once we understand who they are, we almost work ourselves backwards. We understand who they are, what they want, and what they expect from you, and then we go ahead and create a storyboard based on that. So if your audience, say, like I said, most of them are business owners.
Right.
So they're looking from on that range. So we would create a story storyboard that will be pleasing for business owners, something that they will want to see rather than an audience that's just our music lovers. So we have to, shoot and create the story differently based on what they want to see.
And how do you decide how long the video is going to be?
When we come together, we'll like I said, we'll create a storyboard and we'll ask them, are you creating this for a television spot, or are you creating this for your website, or are you creating this for social media? We tell our clients that we don't like videos over 2.5, 3 minutes unless it's something like, I guess, for your website and it's for customers that really know who you are, almost a company overview. But outside of that, 2 minutes, 2.5, it has to be under that time frame. So within 30 seconds, we can show a lot in 30 seconds, a minute and a half. That's pretty much the meat of it. And outside of that, you might lose a first-time client.
Right. So you're saying 2 minutes is the max.
2 minutes is the max for a new person. Yes.
Right. And that's kind of true when you think about today's society with our short attention spans.
Mm-hmm.
You really do kind of have to hit the audience within the first, I would say, 10 seconds?
10, 15
Jane, what
seconds.
do you think? How, getting the audience's attention with a video, if you're selling something, what do you think the audience's attention?
Well, I think it's not only in video, it's in everything that you do. We live in a Twitter world,
Mm-hmm.
so all our feedback, all our communication, all our messaging needs to be short, succinct, and delivering that message in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
I don't know if you guys, you see videos in your timeline or streamlines, and if you ever tapped on a video just to see how long it was before you even looked at it. You looked at it and you say 3 minutes, and you're like, well, I don't have 3 minutes to give this person. But if you look on there and you see it's a 1 minute video, I'll sit and watch this 1 minute video. And that's how, fast we process things now. We actually look at the video to see how long, if we want to give that kind of attention to that video for that long.
Right. Because just 60 seconds is just too long these days. It's just too long. What puts TC Productions ahead of or out in front of your competition?
Well, it's not only our creative process is that, everybody that's in TC Productions, most of us actually went to Southern Illinois. So we have an educational background. We have a technical background. We learn how to work with almost, let's say, bare budget. And we learn how to work with, a skeleton budget. So that pushes our creativities a lot. And that's what sets us apart, and plus our relationships with our clients. We don't consider them just as clients. Once you're on board, you're pretty much our family. So a lot of times with the people on our roster that we work with, if we get in a new camera, we have a new idea, I'll send out an email blast. Hey, I got this new camera. I want to test it out. We'll do it for, 25, 30% off. You got an idea, let's go ahead and shoot it, and they like that. They like being in front of everybody else before, the mass. So when we get stuff like that, we have a new idea. Say, hey, we want to try this new editing technique. I know you did a commercial with us in the past. Want to try something different, 30, 40% off. And they're like, yeah, I could use a video right now. And that keeps them coming. And then with that helps us out in our, testimonials. They love it, and they send that out and they'll send it in their email blast. So we'll get a lot of referrals off of them.
Right. And that just grows your business.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to say 90% of our clients are repeat clientele.
Right. Trenton, what's the best part of your job and what's the worst part of your job?
Oh, man, I think the best part and the worst part might be the same. But the best part is being a director, is creating a story. It's great that you see all the stuff around you in the world that you cannot control. But once you get into creating a story, writing it, you control everything. I control what you wear, what color you wear it, where you walking, how you get there. And having that creative control, it's the best, and editing as well, because if I don't like it, I can take it out, or I can add more to it. But the worst part is editing. So sometimes we get into with our clients, we work with, with seminars, or we work with some long format show. So in editing is pretty much, if I do a 2-hour seminar, well, I have to go watch it for 2 hours. And then on top of that, then I have to go back and edit it. So it's just reliving the same thing over and over. And sometimes it can get very tedious, especially with a client that don't know the editing process. They'll give us a script or some text and say, put this on there. And then they will come back a week later saying, we don't want this anymore. Put that on there. Like, well, I have to go through the whole video to do that. And they were like, it's just a quick fix. Just switch these letters. And
It's quick.
the quick fix is not really a quick fix.
Right.
And we have to go back in there. We have to go through the whole video. We have to render out the whole video, then export the whole video, then upload the whole video all over again. So that's pretty much probably the worst part, but it's not really that bad because I like editing.
Yeah, but you have to do that because if the client says, this is what I want, you have to deliver that.
Yeah, sometimes we get a client that said, hey, we changed our phone number. Can you go back in and switch this? So I'm like, all right, we'll go back in there, the whole video and whatnot.
How do you keep up with the changes? Because technology is it's growing so fast. We can't keep up with it with editing and sound. How do you stay fresh?
Well, with our crew, every Monday is Research Mondays. So we just spend pretty much 6 hours just looking up the latest trends, what's going on in the industry, what's going on, in the area around us and seeing how they compare. Like I would never use Hollywood's trend to Atlanta's trend. It's not the same. The marketing dollars is not the same. So I don't use it based on that, but I look out what's going on. Not, on Mondays, like I said, we do our researching, but throughout the week, you just see what's going on, see what's on TV, see what's trending on Twitter or whatnot. You see what your friends are doing. You see what your business clients, see what they're doing, see what their friends are doing, see what they're into. And once you can focus like that, you can actually forecast what's going to be next or forecast what they're looking at. And that's pretty much how we stay on top of it. And also, like I said earlier, on YouTube, you see what's the latest thing that's going on, and you just look at it and see, okay, I see a trend going this way. Why is it going that way? And once you start figuring that stuff out, you actually forecast it and grab that attention and give it to your clients.
Right, because we were talking earlier, and you called it the YouTube degree.
Yeah, YouTube University.
YouTube University, because you can you can find anything, how to do anything, and the instructions are right there for you.
And speaking of that, that's what we tell all our clients is that you ever go on YouTube and say it's for a flat tire, how to fix a flat tire. Well, for that 2 or 3 minutes that somebody teaching you how to fix a flat tire, that person becomes your industry leader. That person, even though it don't have no degree, no anything, that becomes a professional in your eyes. And for that 3 minutes, they're your professor, and they captivated you for 3 minutes. So I tell these my business owners, I said, with a vast amount of information that somebody's online looking for that. So why couldn't it be you presenting that information to your clients, to your potential audience? And once they start looking at it that way, they say, oh, okay, you're right, And it's a lot of stuff that they feel like they want to share everything they learned in college. And I'm like, you don't need to do all that. It's just people want a little bit of information. And I might get on YouTube, I'm saying, this is the right camera stand you should use, or a tripod you should use. It's nothing to me, but it's somebody online right now looking up the best tripod to use for their production. For their business.
And that's a really good point that, we all have cell phones. At any time of the day or night, we can take out our cell phone and we can have our own personal professor at our fingertips. And I didn't really think of that until just now. But, that's pretty amazing. Wow. Okay, Trenton, what do you see for the future? What's happening for the future of TC Productions? What do you want to happen?
Okay, well, we want to get back into film. So, shooting short features and whatnot, but we're building the business side. We have right now 3 components. It's the small business. It's the music side. We do a lot of music working with the artists and whatnot. And then the real estate side. We shoot a lot of real estate tours or real estate interviews and whatnot. So we're building those 3 up. And then in the future, we want to take that and go into film. So we want to add a 4th component, if you may. It's a lot going on, trying to keep up with everything, but sometimes it's a struggle, but we try to do it. Real estate been booming, but a lot of stuff on our real estate side that we've been selling homes. I think the fastest we sold a home with one of our videos has been less than 48 hours. And the longest, about a month. But
talk about that for a second. Selling a home with a video. What does that mean?
We're going through video tours. People, like I said, sometimes the photograph doesn't do house that much justice. You see a lot of lenses where it has that fisheye, where they can make a room like this look twice as big, and then when you get to look at the house, and you're like, this is not what I saw in those pictures. Sometimes the pictures are very unflattering. But with a video tour, you're in that home. So when you're walking through, we simulate our video tours as if the real estate agent is walking through that house. So we might start with the living room, we work through the bedrooms, the upstairs bathroom, all that stuff. And it feels like they're in there. And what we have learned with the agents is when new homeowners, they call in, there are serious homeowners. There is not calling just to fill around. I just want to think about this. No, I saw this house. I saw the video. I'm very interested. I want to place a bid on this. So it's a lot of that been going on. And the people, they might get, instead of like 20, 30 calls of just filling around, they might get 5 calls that's, I'm ready to buy right now. They said, can we bring you in for a tour?
Wow.
I said, well, I already saw it, but you can bring me in again, but I'm ready to buy this home.
Wow. Excellent. Trenton, how can our audience get in touch with you?
Oh,
your company?
Well, we're everywhere, but our website is tcpvid.com. But, like I said, with the amount of videos we put up, if you put TC Productions in Google, first 3 pages of ours, you will see all our work on our Twitter, TC Productions Vid, our Instagram, our Facebook at TC Productions. But everything we post on there is showing up on the web. So if you just type in TC Productions or TC Productions LLC, you're going to get us.